Hi everyone, it's Luis again. Listen, today I am making a video on my Neofanata falcata, also known as Vanda falcata, since the new classification, all Vandaceous orchids are now Vandas. Now this is the winged orchid, the wind orchid. This orchid comes from Japan, China, and Korea. Now, the story behind this is that I bought it on 4/17, which is 5 years and a couple months ago, and it finally bloomed. Now, the story behind it was at first I bought it in it came to me in maybe a pot this size. I know this is not a pot, but something like this. It came like this in moss, and I didn't like it because I guess he was rotting. So what I did, I mounted it here, and I make it a notation here where it says 8 leaves. So when I repot it only had 8 leaves, and look at it now. It's never bloomed for me until now, 5 years and 3 months later. Now the fragrance, it's amazing. The fragrance, it's amazing. It's better at night. It's stronger at night. And how I grow this, or how I grew it before, I just had it outside in filtered light, so it was exposed to hot temperatures from here in Texas, and I watered it once a week, maybe twice a week, but it took off. Now it has 3 mature fans, and it gave me 2 spikes. The bottom spike has 6 flowers, and the top spike has 4 flowers. See, this is really spectacular. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what made it bloom? Well, I don't know, because there's many factors that could have attributed to it blooming. Now, I'm going to show you the back. It's basically just a fern fiber mount, and I put wire out here in the back to hold it in place, and that's all it is. Now, what I do want to share with you, that what I did different that could probably attribute it or potentially help make this bloom was I did two things that made a difference, I think. One, I changed this plant to my tank that I have in the basement. So with that, I didn't change the watering. So it was still one time a week. So by changing it and putting it in the basement in the tank, clearly there was an increase in humidity. So I attribute an increase in humidity, higher light as far as hours, because now it's on a light that it turns on at 8 in the morning and turns off at 8 at night. So an increase in light could be it, but it could also be an increase in light during the winter, because what I've read is that it likes bright light during the winter. So during the winter it was in my tank, and I did give it less water so it could dry up a little bit. So I attribute it to that. Also, I gave it some fertilizer. I don't remember if I gave it this. It's a weird fertilizer, but it's a violet, African violet fertilizer. And I attribute it to maybe this one. It's like the pellet fertilizer, and it comes in little pellets. And what I did is that I put the little pellets in the mound itself. So whenever I water it, the fertilizer comes down to the mount. So that's what I attributed to having this plant bloom. Now, of course, bringing it in, there was also a drop in temperature because the basement is cooler temperature than the 102 weather outside here in Texas. So again, it's cooler temperature, higher humidity, same watering, but I gave it more fertilizer and brighter light during the winter with drier conditions. So I hope you like my video. If you have any questions, let me know. This is my Vanda falcata, and I changed it from moss to the fern fiber, and it's amazing. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.